Wow, that's really all I have to say about On Your Marks. Not only was it a true sequel to Crusaders of the Lost Mark, but this was honestly one of the most mature episodes of the series, and it didn't have any intense action or dire situations. The episode is kind of like the age-old question to a lot of movies: what happens next? An example is, how did Maverick fare as an instructor at Top Gun after the movie was over? This episode also mirrored a real-world dilemma a lot of people face. The Crusaders finally getting their cutie marks is akin to teenagers graduating high school or young adults graduating college. It was a long yet rewarding ride to reach your goal, but now what do you do? And will you and your friends have as much time to hang out together as you used to? I really enjoyed the setup for the episode. We got the usual opening for a Cutie Mark Crusader episode that slowly transitioned into a realization that Applebloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo hadn't put much thought into what they do after receiving their cutie marks. It was very well paced in how the episode appeared that it would go the usual Crusaders try to help but mess things up routine, especially their scene with Big Mac, which by the way was still classic CMC shenanigans. I really appreciate how the trio quickly came to face reality that the Cutie Mark Crusaders weren't the same anymore, and that they've accomplished a goal that they've set out quite a while ago. It was sweet to see, however, that they tried their best to keep interested in each other's ideas, and how Applebloom was completely honest about bungee jumping and crocheting, but Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle understood that their interests more than likely wouldn't be appealing to Applebloom. It shows that they understand each of them have different personalities and interests, yet they were still willing to encourage Applebloom to find something she would enjoy rather than mope about the clubhouse or be bored or scared of doing what they wanted to do by themselves. Applebloom's situation was scary for her, and rightfully so. Sometimes it is hard to swallow that your friends will want to do activities that won't interest you. It's okay to do other things without friends, but when you've spent so much time doing practically everything together, it's a little disheartening to see your friends enjoying themselves while you feel a little empty. Her song was so beautifully written and performed, yet I'm glad that we didn't get a flashback montage. The visuals, however, were perfect. No matter where Applebloom went during her song, there were always other ponies around her. Yet she was always alone. Even in crowded places, you can feel incomplete without your friends to enjoy it with you. That part of the episode really speaks to me since I had a close friend go off to college across the state while I was still in my hometown working. Suddenly things felt a little emptier without him here. However, I will have to say I think the third act of the episode was a little rushed. Yes, it was pretty surprising yet funny how Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle stumbled upon a half-crazy Applebloom in their clubhouse. She seemed to me like a police detective obsessed with finding a suspect in a case with all of the crossed-out pictures decorating the clubhouse walls and floor. Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle's explanation for they didn't have to do everything together, like if there's something one of them wants to do that the others don't, was right on the money. It was good that Applebloom had to be reminded of that, but to me, she just accepted it way too quickly. With how depressed and empty she felt throughout the second act of the episode, I feel it should have taken a little more than a brief explanation for what Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle meant to get Applebloom to understand what they were saying. I think maybe they should have taken Applebloom out to get some fresh air. Then she could have spotted the dance studio, which could have prompted the others to ask her about why she's looking at it so intently. But I can say I loved the ending with Applebloom helping her dancing friend realize his dream and earn his performing cutie mark. It was a great reminder to not only Applebloom but to Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle that things have to happen naturally. Like with the main six solving their friendship issues, the Crusaders can't just go looking for cutie mark issues to solve, they have to let the issues find them. Just like Bulk Biceps' issue earlier in the episode when he came to them asking for help because he ran out of dumbbells to lift in Ponyville. And by the way, it was nice to see Bulk Biceps say more than just "yeah" all the time. While the Crusaders haven't aged physically throughout the 6 seasons of the show, they have matured mentally, and On Your Marks greatly proved that. This episode was a great message that you have to think beyond your goals for what you really want to do. A lot of us just think about obtaining our goals and nothing else. We, like the Crusaders and especially Applebloom should have, really have to consider just what to do when we reach our goals. because sometimes it could take much longer to earn our goals, or we could reach them sooner than expected. It's always good to have a plan set out once you finally reach what you were working so long for. I also loved the lesson that just because friends mature and age together, it doesn't mean they can't have outside interests away from their friends, but they can still be a major part of their lives. Sweetie Belle's message to Apple Bloom about her interest in dancing and that you don't have to be exceptionally good at something to enjoy it really resonated with me. I know I'm not particularly good at reviewing episodes, but I thought it would be fun to try and do, and I want to get better at it while also having fun with it. While starting off like a classic Crusaders episode, and despite having a slightly rushed third act, On Your Marks was a great slice of life lesson for kids that not only you should think about plans beyond obtaining your goals, but just because your friends have outside interests, it doesn't mean they're bored of you. It just means you and your friends are growing up, and you really begin to appreciate just how much your friends meant to you when you were younger. It's only fitting that I give it a green flag rating. What did you think of the episode? I'm MrLeftTurn. I'll see you when I get back from the track.